Hey guys, and welcome to episode 3 of Should I Buy It or Not? This time we're featuring the T71. Now this little beast is just amazing. It's really awesome. And we're going to look at it and the other autoloader tier 7 light tank in the game, which is the AMX 1375. But first up, let's take a look at the stats of the T71. As a light tank, 840 HP might not seem like a lot, but as a light tank, it's really a lot. You can take 2 shells straight to the face from most big tanks and still live. With the weight only being 17 ton, a 400 horsepower engine is really great. It accelerates really fast, and the max speed of 64.4 km an hour is great. Traverse speed at 56 is just crazy. We won't talk about the armor because it has none. View range, really great 400, and signal range, also great. But let's compare that acceleration with the AMX 1375. As you can see, the T71 at the bottom is already at 50, while the AMX is now at 50, and the T71 is at 65. So we can see that the acceleration is a lot greater. The traverse speed, as we can see, the T71 can turn around itself, while the AMX has to turn in a circle. This is really great for when you have to turn around and get away from enemies. The gun depression is also very good on the T71. It's not insane, but it's still good for a small light tank. Now let's reverse and just take a look at the gun elevation. As you can see, it's really good. It can look, well, not straight into the air, but close to the 40 degrees up there, I believe. Let's take a look at the AMX. This is the same for all the AMXs, most of them. But as you can see, the gun depression is close to 0. It's really low, and you really have to move way too much up a hill before you can even aim down at enemies. So yeah, not that great. Compared to the T71, it is 0. But here's the worst part, the gun elevation. Just look at that. How much is that? Is it 10? Maybe 15? I can't tell because it's so insanely low. Oh, let's check the guns. We're just gonna shoot here. As you can see, both of them shoot at the same amount of well, time between shots, 2 seconds. So that's great, but the T71 reloads almost 3 seconds slower. This is pretty understandable since it is much faster, better gun depression, better gun elevation, turns faster, and also better penetration and even more damage, so you have to give something to the AMX to make it compete against it. Let's jump straight into a game, or a couple of games, to show off how you can fully utilize the T71. As you can see, as we just saw in the comparison, the T71 is insanely fast. It's really fast. So you gotta take advantage of this by going to places where you can either be a passive scout, we'll see that in game 2, or as me, where I'm just gonna force my way down to a spot where the enemy won't be able to get to me before it's too late. As we know, on highway, the enemy usually meet up down here. The enemy and our allies usually meet up down here. So what I'm gonna do is gonna run all the way down here and sit next to this factory. When our guys come down into the city, I'm gonna go out, spot a few dudes, then retreat. Then the enemies are gonna come forward, and I will be able to shoot into their sides or fronts or whatever while they're actually fighting much bigger enemies like the Tiger II coming down right there and the ISU as well. So we're just waiting for this right now. Waiting. You can peek a few times just to check, but it's better if you remain undetected right here. I'm gonna be detected just a second by super pushing, but if you remain undetected right here, you'll be able to catch the enemy off guard and get all your 6 shells into their face before they're able to realize that you're there as well. As you saw there, I was spotted, and STI is going forward in the open field right there. Not open field, but there's an open spot right there, which you can take advantage of. He's aiming our way, we can see right now. So wait, now he's turning on our way, and here we go. Starting to do some damage there. Once more, and one more in the track. You better retreat before the enemy um, aims at you fully, because this game is full of snapshots, and sometimes people just go wah, wah, click and hit you with 100% luck. There's no skill involved, and it really annoys me. And the new upgrade or the new thingy coming in the next patch will highly likely just make that even worse. As you can see, the STI moved forward, and that was a big mistake, because I just set him on fire, and then set him on fire again, and then hit his ammo rack. So that was pretty good. That was a pretty good sequence for me. And he calls me something, I don't really know what. Something I read about on it, but I don't really care. And here we see an IS. Oh, moving back too much. Can't hit it now, unless he moves forward. Clang. Yes. I just take that shot just to make sure that. Oh, another one. He moved back. Good. Well, as you can see, it's a pretty good position. Even though we've already won this position, I am still able to hit some of the enemies that are left on the enemy team. So right now I'm actually just waiting on the KB or IS to die, because then there will only be the E75 against all of our tanks, and I'm just gonna roll straight into his face and get behind him. So he's going to be confused and maybe turn to shoot at me, maybe not, you'll never know. But as you can see, I'm keeping my crosshair on him so I can see exactly where his turret is aiming, and just going straight next to him, just starting to fire. Trying to keep my tank right next to him so that he'll think that he has a chance of catching me. And when he's getting close to killing me, I'm just gonna roll off. The T54 is killed by the E75, and I just keep on rolling. Rolling with this little something. Yeah, super fast, so you will be able to get to the action very fast. When there's only a small amount of enemies left, you'll be able to get to them pretty quickly and get some shots off before they're killed. As you can see here, Tiger, I could hit the Tiger too, but I decided to just keep rolling because the shots would probably not hit him. IS-3 is very open with his rear, so I decided to stop. This gun is very accurate, so you should be able to fire without any problems and hit your target. He's too low there, and I decided to go for the ISU. Missed him there, bounced there, so no shots hit. Well, as you can see in this one, we used it as a small ambush tank, which it is. And then we used it as a long-range sniper. As you can see here, the Tiger is aiming at us, so just try and get as close as to him as possible. As you can see there, avoiding the turret as much as possible, which will lead into you getting to him unscathed, or whatever you call it, unharmed. And yep, just use your mobility to get past the Tiger 2 here, get into sniper mode so you can actually see where you're shooting, and that's it. GG. Oh, I actually typed that wrong. I should have only written that to my team, because we stomped the enemy team, so there's no point in saying GG, because it's not a GG for them. So don't ever write GG to a team that you just stomped like that. But let's get into another game where I am a more passive scout, and then a more cautious get in, take out the arty, do some damage, and then in the end, fool around with a PK 4502. But yeah, as you can see, use my speed and acceleration and blah 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 and blah 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 to get to this bush. And yeah, great view range. You'll be able to spot a ton of tanks. I think these were spotted by the WC or WZ132 actually, but just keep sitting in this bush and making sure that no one's trying to come around the lake area. And oh, there we go. T20 is moving to the south. So I'll be getting in closer in just a second to help them out down there, because they're basically no one down there. There's a Tiger and a T69, and then the W set. But yeah, as you might know, all light tanks keep their camo value on the move, so I am still very well camouflaged. I tried to hit the object here, but I think he is behind some trains, and I just couldn't hit him through that. So, but it was worth a shot. The shells cost so little, so there's no point in not firing at him. The Panther shows his rear or side, and I fire a few shells at him before he disappears again. I think the last one hit as well, but we will never know. And then move in closer, because now a lot of their medium tanks has just disappeared from the base, and I should be able to get to their base and take out their arty without any problems. But a Ausklärungs B and an IS, or SU, the SU, yeah, not the ISU, SU tank, or tank destroyer, is sitting in the base, acting as defense. I have no idea why, because such big tanks should never be back in base as defense. He's going straight for me, trying to get a ram, but he only gets a little bit, and then he tracks himself, so yeah, that's not good. I bounced and missed a few shells, but that's my own fault, because you should always go into sniper mode when you're this close with a tank, where the as you can see, the turret is bobbing up and down when I'm aiming at different parts of him. I shouldn't. Just look at that. Bloop! Straight in the water. Stupid mistake. Go into sniper mode and aim at the damn tank. High flyer, listen to me. Good, there we go. And now I don't. And boom, shoot over him. Only because I didn't want to bother going into sniper mode. I could have killed him with those two last shells that I missed, but no. I had to shoot without sniping. And here we see me achieving lucky, because the enemy S51 got greedy and tried to get a kill on me. That should at least have been one of the medium tanks going back to help the SU-152, but nobody came. So yep, I'm just going to roll around the hills, or this middle part, because the Ausklärungs B is still in the base, just waiting. I don't know why, but I'm going to go in a wide circle around so he doesn't spot me. I spot the arty, and I am just waiting for an opportunity to go and hit him straight in the face, because if I had stopped earlier, I probably wouldn't have been able to see him through the buildings and all that stuff. I noticed that the Ausb is over there on the right, so I didn't stop before I was all the way over here, where there's a building between me and him, and looks like he's coming for me, but yep, yes, but nope, then he's not. And then I spot the other arty, then I panic here. Don't panic. The arty takes a lot of time to aim, and he wants to make sure that he kills me. As you can see, I missed 2 shells where I could have hit him once and just killed him, but no, I had to just shoot and panic. Well, here we see the Ausb just being lit up by me, using the small cover here. He can't shoot through the cover without and hurt me at the same time, so I'm using the cover as a good spotting position here. Oops, he's aiming at me. Got a lucky shot off there. And then we're actually just sitting right here and looking at each other. I'm gonna roll forward in just a second and shoot some of my shells at his tracks, just to keep him in one position for our arty to be able to hit him much more reliably. Gonna speed it up here, because that's what I'm doing with him, going back and forward, spotting him and then tracking him here. Maybe shooting off my shells too fast, but whatever. I have plenty of them. And now he's rolling forward. He's spotted by the 50-meter rule, the proximity spotting, and he's coming for me. And with the traverse speed, I'm able to turn very quickly and gain a lot more speed to get away from him. He fires, I hear that, and then I think, That's my golden opportunity. I just gotta kill him now, or at least hurt him. But then I see he has the small gun, and he reloads a lot faster, so going out there was actually the dumbest thing that I could have done, because I hadn't noticed the bigger gun. Here he rams me for quite a lot of damage, and then the reverse speed of the T71 of it has 22, 23 reverse speed. You can see I'm just keeping out of his gun, and then reverse the speed, or the gears, or I don't know. I went reverse and then forward at full speed, and he had to be really lucky to catch me there with his turret, because a light tank going forward at full speed is really tough to catch. But yeah, as you can see, you can be very forward and aggressive tank. You can be a passive scout and then just light some targets up for your arty and then deal with any single enemy coming at you. Or you can be really annoying for any big enemies, like I just was there for an LSB, because I'm really mobile and I know my tank's strength. So there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do these kind of things to bigger tanks. Well, even though I don't really need to rank it for you to know, this tank is tanktacular. It's just amazing. It's fast, mobile, great gun, great penetration. Everything is just awesome about this tank. So if you don't have it, better go and get it, because it's awesome.